started. Can you hear my voice? Can you hear the music? The music should be pretty loud at the moment, but I'll bring it down in a minute. Just enjoy it for now. So this is just a great track to get us started by Zerzar, or maybe it's XER, I'm not sure. It's called Reflection, so this was just picked at random. I want to say, if you're totally new to these streams, just settle in. We stream for an hour or two, you know, grab yourself a drink, get some snacks, whatever. So get comfortable. The best thing about these streams is that while I'm going to listen to your music, I'm going to apply effects, I'm going to try to make things sound good and give you some advice about arrangement and structure as well. The real power in these is that there's usually 20, 30, 50 people sort of commenting in chat, also giving feedback, because I'm only one set of ears and one set of headphones here. So if everybody at home, if you're listening and you go, man, that snare's really, really loud or something, chime in the chat, let them know that their snare sucks, and we can make their music sound good together. Let's see this. Okay, great. Hey, Eddie. Thanks for joining in. Zer, this is you. This is your track, so I'm going to fade it back up. I'll be picking songs just from the chat, so at certain times in the stream, I'll ask you and say, hey, let me know what your track is, but until those moments, please don't just spam the chat. I really, really appreciate it. Anyway, let's listen to a bit more of this, and we'll get this thing started. I'm really, really happy to be here. You know, I was feeling pretty unwell the last couple of days, and I was thinking of calling this off, but I was like, you know what? I enjoy these. I love listening to all of your music, and I didn't really want to miss it. So my wife actually nudged me into it. She was like, you know, you do love these streams. See how you feel. And I'm like, you know, she's got a point. So anyway, we're here. Let's listen to this chorus again and enjoy. The music should get quite loud. I love those atmospheres. I really, really like that you've sort of made this track very melody focused. It's very, very melodic. So, you know, with sort of drum and bass, liquid drum and bass, you can get things. It's always easy to get the bass growling and to get things sounding very, very punchy. But I feel like in this one, you've kind of gone from a slightly more airy, slightly more smooth mid-range. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind, because I'm not just going to tell you, oh, the kick needs to punch a bunch more. I'm going to listen to this chorus because I think it was a little less busy than this one. And I'm going to make some EQ sweeps just to see if I can either clear things up or maybe even enhance those sort of melodic aspects. But I was really, really enjoying it. You could probably hear I was just listening to it instead of critiquing it. Let's turn that up, sorry. Let's try that again. Sorry, folks. So both of those actually sounded good. I was trying to do what Artin had suggested this as well in the chat, like the mids are just a touch too much. So I took down at about 600, a nice wide band. So it wasn't a narrow little cut, just kind of a wide band at 600. I probably took too much away. That's 2 dB. That's quite a lot over like the whole mix. I felt that even with that taken down, I wanted just a little bit more. And this wasn't really trying to highlight the kick, but this was more trying to give the sub notes like a little bit more volume so that the airy stuff at the high end felt like it had more of a foundation. And then with a little gentle side boost at the top, I just felt like everything sat a little bit better for my headphones, at least, because I felt, we cleared up the middle a little bit, not too much, because there's a lot of nice stuff with the pads here. I might even take that up a bit. Nice strong foundation, not too punchy, and then bright at the top. Not so sure about the auto gain on this, but I'm just going to go back to the start of the chorus. I'll start with this turned on, and then we'll turn it off. So just notice here. And we'll take a listen to the track as we do that. I felt the transition felt a little bit sparse, but honestly, I kind of like that you didn't just do some like filter sweep or just some like tape stop or something too kind of cringy. It was kind of gentle. That felt a little bit more subtle than usual. But let's see this. Did I have the auto gain turned on? Auto gain can be tough. I'm not even... Yeah, it was on. It was so subtle right now. Let's see this. Yeah, Zeus is saying that the mix sounds quite thin in general, and I have a feeling that, like, Zara can chime in here, but I have a feeling that the mix is supposed to be sort of on the thinner side, so it's a sort of mix where you could listen to it in ear pods or something, and you're not going to feel like you're being, punched by the mix. You're sort of just a melodic backdrop to whatever you're doing. I don't think it's one of those tracks where you're like, oh my god, I'm locked in, I'm lifting at the gym or something. Like, every piece of music is for a different purpose, for a different story, so I don't think it was really about that. But this was like a really, really nice one. Eddie, that's really good feedback. Now that you're on your headphones, the EQ, he said it sounded good on the speakers, but the hi-hats have become too distracting. So I reckon maybe give the side channels a bit of a boost, but not the hi-hats, because that's what, like, going back to different headphones are good for. Different pairs and whatnots can really highlight, issues like hi-hats sticking out. I'm going to see if I notice the hi-hats. Yeah, you make a good point. It's this boost I think it's pulling up a lot of nice energy in the pads, but I think it's over accentuating the hi-hats a little bit. But honestly, Zara, this was a great track, not only to get us started, but just a good track in general. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm going to see, is there anything else I'd do? Honestly, over a 5-minute track, I'm not sure how much you need to do to make some of these transitions a little bit more interesting, because if someone's going to commit to the 5 minutes, they're probably going to stay there anyway. Yeah. Let's see this. Yeah, a lot of people are liking the hi-hats being kind of on the brighter side, so that's all right. I really like it. One thing I would say is you've really created a nice mesh, like kind of a cohesive mesh of sound here. It really doesn't, sometimes these tracks, you listen to them and then all of a sudden the lead is just like really piercing or something, or you can feel that the bass sounds very detached and underneath everything else, whereas this track, everything sounds nice and meshed together. And sometimes I'd rather that than just a mix where everything is jumping at me and it sounds like an Atmos mix or whatever. Like, sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. So I'm gonna play a little bit more of this chorus while we find some more tracks from the chat. So we're going to add some to the queue, and then it'll, if you've never used Boombox before, I should have said at the start, submit a track in the description. It'll suddenly make sense why we are using Boombox. I'll add Eddie because I know he's in the chat, and then you'll see we've got a queue that starts over here, so you can see who's coming up next. Let's see. Artin, I think you've got a track. You've been in the chat. Artin, yep, we'll add yours. So you've been added to the queue. You know, it's been a while since we've had Dodo. We'll do Zapsters, Dodo, and we'll do Wave Farm, right? We'll do those three. For now, that's enough from the chat for now. We'll just get this started. Zap. Can't find yours. Zap, what's the name? Let me know in the chat. Oh no, it's oh wait, no, you didn't actually submit one. Never mind. Donata, we'll probably do yours towards the end of the stream, I think, because we've done a few of yours before, which I really like. I said Wave Farm. Oh yeah, I'll play this one. Do SKMP because it's been a while since we played one of yours. Awesome. The leads on yours, Zerk, sort of reminds me of Stardew Valley. I really like it. Let's take a look at the queue and we'll go to this track. So we've got Artin, Dodo, Wave Farm, and SKMP. Some of these folks are regulars, some I don't think I've ever seen you before, but we'll see. Right, Eddie, this is going to be fun. Meant for sci-fi horror games, so this is going to switch up the mood a bit, all right? And there we have a mix that's really transient and percussive. Oh, that's so uncomfortable. I love it. This is the music I need to heal me. And Eddie had the audacity to tell me that the hi-hats in the last track were too bright. And then give me all of these little chirps that are killing me. These chirps here are a lot. All of these sounds, these ones, come on, there we go. Those chirps, I'd say they're a bit too sharp for me. I might take those down a bit. I'm gonna take those down a touch. But wow, I mean, the atmosphere we've created here, that Eddie's created here is incredible. Oh. Just the delay on those kicks or on the bass. So much rhythm. You could totally imagine this, like if I turn this down a bit, and you're playing some kind of like game and the tension's just building, some sort of horror, you know. Like imagine if you were playing some sort of horror game in like VR or something really immersive, and then this is just playing, bothering you while you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to do before the, you know, the monster appears or whatever. This would be just perfect. I think the sharp notes are fine. They're unnerving at the top. I would say they're a bit loud when you listen to it loud, but when you have it playing lower like this, like I've got it right now, I don't think they're too distracting. So it really depends what level it is in the game, I suppose, or in the soundtrack. And by now this feels Is it just me? It feels a lot more full than it was at the start. Yeah. I like the way it's evolved. Artin, you know, this does give that main menu theme song. Do you know what this reminds me of? And it's probably totally different, but it reminds me of when Call of Duty Black Ops came out, and you know, you're sitting there and you're in the chair and in the sort of interrogation room. It's got like that sort of vibe. It's got a slightly military sort of covert operations vibe to it, but it's also got that horror and that darkness in it. I don't know if anyone else agrees. Oh yeah, Marv K. Anyway, you said the same thing. Did you say? Yeah, you said someone else said Call of Duty campaign loading screen. Okay, so we're all on the same page. That's good. I'm glad we've got some fellow gamers in the chat. It's been a long time since I played Call of Duty. I used to play I played the first Call of Duty when it came out on like PlayStation 2 or something, like so long ago. And I played through Modern Warfare 2. I think I played to Black Ops and then I just called it quits after that. I don't think I've played since. It got a bit crazy after that point. But yeah, I used to love that when I was a bit younger. I spent too much time playing that online. Eddie, this is great. I've sort of given you all the feedback I can on it. I just think you've got to keep doing you. Did you bury some like guitar under there as well? Like some maybe that added to the atmosphere or something? You know, when I listen to your music, Eddie, I stop picking out the individual parts and I just feel immediately transported into a different environment or world. And that's something that a lot of people could focus on when you're making music, is, you know, not worrying too much about which sound is going to grab the listener necessarily, but thinking about the bigger picture, creating something where you really feel thrown into a whole different world and a different space there. So really enjoyed that. Now we're going to listen to a track by Artin. It's called We Made It. Cool. So I like when people leave little comments here. It makes it much easier for me to know what's going on. Oh no, I want to open that up. There we go. Pin the EQ to the screen. It's really, I think it's easier to listen to these streams when the EQ is open. But yeah, let's give this a go. Let me know if it's not loud enough. You've got something, there's some sort of octave down vocal. I can't actually tell, just my hearing at the moment. I can't tell if it's like based on the original vocal, it's an octave or two down, or whether this is actually just a low harmony you're singing. So forgive me there, but I really like it. I think that low vocal is really well placed. It could maybe even be a little bit louder perhaps. Because the top vocal, the trouble with the top vocals is that there's always this really fine line between it sounding like really nice and playful and easy, and it just kind of sounding a bit like chipmunky. So you've got to you've got to balance those vocals really carefully, but at least in these headphones, I feel a touch more of that low vocal would be really nice. Sounds so good though. I'm wondering what else we could do here to build the energy differently. So the lead is good, we should keep that. We made it. So I like this. I feel that this build up is almost a little bit too loud. I would have liked maybe that acoustic guitar, maybe an arpeggiated element to be, you know, filtered and be building up towards the chorus. This just felt very loud, so this bit here, it's like, this is epic, but it feels like it's a little less epic just because this bit here was quite loud. I don't know if anyone else agrees. Let me just listen to this, the sort of chord stack sound, the do-do-do-do. It's actually the lead. I think it could have a little bit more movement, like each note feels quite like kind of similar length, similar sort of attack and decay. It wouldn't hurt to have some like vibrato or tremolo on some of those notes, so they just kind of like sing a little bit, you know, just to make them, some of the notes maybe have a pitch bend up to the next note in the melody that they're doing. You know, it could like glide, like it could just have something that like builds it up into the next part of the melody, because that kind of stuff, that's sort of how a singer might sing it. They'd sing some of the notes very statically, and then others they'd sort of slide or glide into the next note. Yeah, so M1841 says maybe make some of them different lengths instead of legato. And, you know, I was thinking that gives me a good idea. Like, what if some of them were like double or tripled notes? So some of the notes in the melody are short, some are long, but then some are just stuttered. So maybe like you stutter the start of a note and then hold it. Just like you were playing a guitar, you might sort of like pick or palm a few notes before you let a note ring out. Does that make sense? And if you try it, it'll take 2 seconds. It might sound really goofy, but give it a go. Because it is sort of like a guitar sound we're going for, definitely experiment with different amps and more distortion, because some of them, you know, if you start pushing and pulling with this, you'll notice some of those notes that are a little bit louder or have a little bit more pitch bend on them, they'll hit that amp in a different way. They'll have different levels of distortion and they'll all crunch up beautifully. Abstract says gliding adds tension and not gliding releases tension, which is perfect. That is exactly what it does. I'll add one of your tracks to the I think I'll add you to the queue. Abstract, if you don't have a track, let me know, because or if you have a track, let me know, I should say. I can't find you. I'd like to add you to the queue as well, because I know you've been given it's called invalid. Got it. Perfect, thank you very much. I know you always give feedback, and I don't think I've played you in ages and ages, so you absolutely deserve it. Right, let's see. Mainly stuck on the mix. Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't need to put yourself down, you know. We're just doing what we can do. Should we listen to a little bit more? I want to hear this transition into the second part here. Let's give this a go. I think we need vocals, because here you've got the vocals. And I think a lot of this could be filled in. I think what I'm missing here and what I'm trying to get out of the guitar, out of the other stuff, is that kind of human element. I think that's really that's the undercurrent of everything I'm saying. We're trying to get the dynamics into the performance. I think if there was some maybe vocal chop, maybe a vocal chant, some buried vocal or harmony layers, anything. Unless there are, and I'm just totally missing it. But I mean, it's a nice melody. It's a nice sound. Like, I'm enjoying it. You know, a little bit of vocals. Let's see. Yeah, Dodo reckons some vocal chops would work wonders. And if you're afraid and you don't know how to do vocal chops, and you think there's some kind of formula, like, just don't be afraid. There's so many ways to do it. You can drag like a vowel or a consonant into a synth and you can play that. Or you can use a plugin, or you can literally just grab little bits of the vocal, just repitch them, just repitch it into a melody, try stuff. Sometimes some of the best vocal chops you've ever heard, sometimes it's like a crazy methodical method. Sometimes it's a crazy method that they followed, and it's like very precise, and other times it's literally just like, I just repitched it and retimed it, put it through a gate, and that's it. Like, people do everything, so don't be afraid to do vocal chops if you've yeah, Chris is saying like accidental chops can sound really good. Sometimes you're recording vocals, or not me, sometimes you hear of an engineer like recording vocals, they screw something up so bad and they're like, I'm sorry, and then the artist is like, wait, play that again, what was that? That was amazing. Like, was that me? You know, it's that sort of thing. That's nice. Let's jump on to the next track here. So we've got a few in the queue right now. Take a look. We're going to play Dodo, Wavefarm, SKMP, then Abstract, and then we'll get a few. Is it yeah, Abstract. And we'll get a few more. Okay, I'm going to turn this down a touch. Just a touch. We'll read this as I play the track. How about that? Put together. Switch. Oh. Hold tight 'cause this drop's too real. It sounds a little like this is two songs sliced together, because this stuff here is just so good. Really, really, really good. I know that you've got some pitch drift on this synth, so I need to quickly listen, because I reckon there was sort of a dissonance, or maybe it was just a kind of spicy chord that you've chosen, but I noticed a little bit of a dissonance on one or more of the notes. But it may have been pitch drift on the synth and I just wasn't paying attention. But honestly, the way it locks in is so nice. It kind of sounds like two things spliced together. That note. It's maybe not on your synth. It might be like a droplet sort of sound, like a sound effect. It might be you know, sometimes I don't even know if they have a word for it. It's kind of like a sparkly impact, just a single sustained note above. Da, 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 da. It's like da. It doesn't quite sound right, and then I'm like, I could have skipped And then if I did, it'd be bad because. And then this bit, I'm like, okay, this is all right. Yeah, so I think I definitely think there's a wrong note or two in here, but this bit's really, really good, so let's not worry too much. I do think it would benefit from adjusting that, though. M1841, I agree with you as well. I'm sorry if I didn't make that clear as well. Adam saying minor lead over a major chord. I reckon that's good. I think it's really just that top note of the lead, and then where the lead goes back to was a bit like, that's interesting. It's definitely spicy, that's for sure. That was all fine. And then just the it's like. But I love the drop so much. Oh my. Oh, so good. Hold tight because this drop's too real. I love the way that the lead, that's sort of the triplets on the lead, like mirror and match what the bass was doing as well. It's so good. So much intensity, so much momentum and propulsion in this whole section. It's just these bits in here. It's going to get loud again. It's so satisfying just having those sort of chord stacks, or the lead that's kind of distorted and squealing at the top, that just matches what the bass was doing. So good. That's what I mean when I say it sounds like a different song. It's like it doesn't sound like this bit was programmed also by the same person that chose these notes. So maybe there's a bit of genius going on in there. I know for sure a few people in the chat are saying, hey, I like the dissonant notes, it's different, you know. AI probably wouldn't do that, so maybe that's how we fight it. Let's see this. Honestly, though, really good. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't know. These this bit here just sounds so legit. It's like really infectious. I just want to shut up and just keep playing it, you know. Dodo, people are asking you for, like, you know, details, social media details and stuff, you know. Send them your stuff or whatever, okay, in the chat. Feel free to share it. Nice. It's really good to hear from you again. Dodo is like always in these streams. You're always giving great actionable advice. You're always trying your best to help other people. So I really enjoyed listening to your stuff. Thank you so much. This would be a really good place just to quickly mention that if you want priority, pretty much guaranteed feedback during these streams, not just from myself, but from other creators, there's a link somewhere in the description where you can sign up to Boombox, which is the service I'm using for these, for this track feedback. It's also the service that I use for all of, well, it's the platform that I use for all of my mixing and mastering feedback, and also to send and receive tracks and mixes and stems to and from clients that I'm working with, and also anyone I'm collaborating with. I also use it for a bunch of my file storage, and you can see at the top, you can also use it to distribute your music. So in the description there is, let me just check that this is up on the screen, there is a special offer, Elevate 25 at checkout, cancel anytime. I use the pro version. I think for most people the creator sort of makes most sense, because you get loads of storage, but you also get the distribution to get your songs onto all the stores, Apple Music, Spotify. Even if you're boycotting some of the stores, you can still get them onto 150 other ones, okay? That creator probably makes most sense. Right now, if you've submitted a track, you'll currently be on the free plan. But it's pretty easy to switch between plans. If you're on one and it doesn't quite suit your needs, you can get more storage, or if you're not using the distribution, you can go back down to here. But yeah, I like using Boombox. It keeps all of my important stuff all in one place. I've tried so many file sharing services that I've paid a lot of money for over the years, and Boombox has just been very, very hassle-free for both me and my clients. I've never had people that I'm mixing or mastering for complaining that they can't access their songs, their files. There's a good mobile app. You can just listen to, it's super easy. Like, there's really nothing else to say. So if you want guaranteed feedback in these streams as well, you can sign up and you'll get a little badge beside your name. But for now, we'll just go through a few more of the kind of just general free public tracks, and then I'll hunt for some paid users as well in a minute. Okay, so let's see this. They say, hi everyone. Michael, thanks for taking the time to listen to the song. You're welcome. I'm Wavefarm. 7 years of choir experience, but they're working on it. They want to collab. Boombox is great for that. They're working on ambience control, trying to play with the silence of the song. That's great. Let me know if this feels too rushed. They often go overboard. They're also asking for ideas for an anti-drop, and it's all made with stock FL Studio sounds. Cool. They've kind of, it's like a pilot episode, they say, and they're looking for feedback. So let's take a good listen. That's a strong start. So wide. Just before we go any further, I just want to say I love the way you're playing with the width in this song already. It sounds super like percussive and transient, but the way you're taking individual notes, and I can tell you've like panned one note to the left, one note to the right, or maybe you've used a plugin to do that, but it looks like you've gone into the piano roll and gone, send that note here, send this here. I really, really appreciate little details like that. We'll keep listening. It's one that you want to just kind of close your eyes for and enjoy. Nice playing with the silence, good job. I like the way you've balanced, like there's a lot of stuff that is fighting for attention in the low mids, and usually the kind of stock effects, they all just pile on so much energy in the low mids. But no, you've done a really good job, because you could probably see me digging around, and anytime I reduced this, the track just felt like gutted, so it didn't need it. It's funny, who was it in the chat that said it? I'm sure someone did. Frozen said the vinyl crackle's slightly too loud, and I would have agreed as well. It's like, I started thinking, oh, that's a really nice vinyl crackle. And then I was thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have noticed it that much. This vinyl crackle. It's like around here, you get it, yeah? I'll go back actually for everyone to hear it. It's that vinyl crackle. Who knows? YouTube might even cancel that noise out. I started thinking, oh, that's really nice. It's so wide. It's like, it sounds wider than my headphones. Really nice crackle. But then I thought, you know what? Why is that louder than the strings and everything? So maybe the vinyl crackle's a bit loud, but you can tell we're splitting hairs here. We're really, really enjoying this. Let's listen to the kind of second half of the song. This kind of like, is that I'm not sure if that is Sakura or Sakura that you're using for the kind of plucked string instruments, but it's really, really nice. Eddie had a comment about the strings that I would agree with. So if we take a listen to the strings here, the strings feel a bit static, so you can just hear them hold a chord and then they cut and the next chord like starts instantaneously. So we could push and pull with the rise and fall there. There's lots of ways to do it, but as Eddie said as well in the chat, you're very dependent on the sort of library you use. So you might be able to fade down the volume, or you might be able to push the expression up in the middle of a chord. It's different depending on what library you use. So what are you using, Waveform? Let's see. You know, when the strings just went da da da, and it's like they're just very like static, and the actual tone of the strings is really nice. This bit here, love it. Like strings always sound beautiful, but if there was something that kind of rose and swell between those, it'd be really, really nice. Let's keep listening to this bit here. It sounds like we're being quite negative, but it's because we actually love so much of this. So we just want to perfect the few things that need adjusted, because overall, really, really strong storytelling, great use of the stereo field. There's so much depth here. I can hear things close, I can hear things far away, wide, narrow. You're really filling up the whole spectrum. And it's pretty clear when I was digging around with EQ, just about everything I was doing was making it sound worse. So you've balanced things quite well. But you could add a nudge in the treble. Incredible. Really, really nice stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to skim over the chat for a moment and see if there's any like good feedback that I've missed, but all the sounds are from Flex. That's insane. I'm not the biggest fan of the Flex plugin synthesizer. Oh, hello. Sorry. Mandatory solo break. Let me get this up here. Yeah, have you had your dinner? Do you want to come up and see everybody? If you want to. Come on up. Good boy. Oh. Yes. They're all in there. So they're all in the microphone here, look. No, he's had enough. He went out into the garden and he wanted to go and put his wet, muddy paws all over my trousers. And now that he's done that, he has completed his mission and he has no further use for his human. So he's going to go sleep or something. Isn't that right, buddy? Actually, no, he's just standing behind me. Bro, you're so weird. Such a weird dog. I love him. Right, on to the next track. Waveform, that was so cool. If you're, I'm pretty sure you're in the in the Discord. I'm so bad with names. We've just had so many people taking part. That's not me trying to like congratulate ourselves too much, but we've had so many people chatting in the Discord. I'm struggling to even keep track of everyone. So if you're not already, yeah, you are. Definitely chat with people about what you're using and maybe how to get some more expression, because it's possible that with like Flex, if you're using the strings, talk to someone like Eddie, you might just swap that strings to a completely different plugin, just copy your MIDI over to something that like sounds really similar but has lots of expression. I used to struggle with like finding like cellos or violin libraries that really gave all the expression that I wanted. And when you find it, you kind of lock into that workflow. Okay, SKMP. Typically you do stuff you've done a few sort of like ballads. It's often quite vocal heavy. It's often quite romantic music. So let's take a listen. They're asking, only request is to listen to it fully one time before feedback. Okay. It is 4 minutes. So I tell you what, look, I'm going to listen to this point here before I say a word. Is that fair? Okay, we'll have to meet in the middle. Everything's a negotiation. I'll listen to here before I say a word, all right? Agreed.
I'm asleep, my mind is free. I'm chasing a silhouette of you. In my dreams, I see you running away from me. Why are you running away? Can't you see that I'm right behind? Face my way, let me see you for one last time. Suddenly you stop. I see you turning into golden dust, and I see another man coming to rebuild you with his own hand. His love for you was a poison dart that hit me right into my heart. Guess I'm just a person who is chasing her scars.
Okay, yeah, really nice throughout. I tried to be quiet, but I did want to add some of these effects to things. So I'll explain quickly what I did here. I wasn't actually listening to the lyrics very much, but I was listening purely to like the tone of everything. So sorry, I was also just like really, really in the chat. So firstly, about the tone of the vocals, they are like used to or man, what's the right words to describe this? The tones and microtones of the sort of Indian scales or scale of music, it kind of opens up the voice to a lot more sort of tonal fluctuation than we might normally expect to hear. So you can sometimes do little bits in between runs that sound a bit like, oh, that's a bit extra or a bit spicy, but it's just totally normal. So let me see. But I took down the vocals by about 3 dB, and I felt that things felt more comfortable there. And then I took the sort of bass, the kind of knock on the kick and the kick here down, because I just felt like it was super, super loud from the start. I was thinking, oh, this sounds a bit like muddy, so to speak, but it was really that kick just knocking through. So I really felt that this helped overall. But when I added these boosts, the vocals stuck out way too much, so I took them down by 3 dB. Let's see. M1841 is saying, or just is saying, 4 to the floor drums maybe aren't the most flattering choice for this. And they said maybe like some R&B drums could work better. But yeah, let's see. So I'm going to go back to here where the vocals were.
I see you running away.
I just think it was really, really loud vocals. Because you still got a lot of bass and a lot of low mids in your vocals, I really think they were too loud throughout. And I think if you took the vocals down by maybe 2 dB on their own, maybe even 3 dB, I think the whole song becomes a lot more listenable. I have to admit, I wasn't. Someone said it's like almost a cappella. Yeah. So it's also possible that like sometimes with these things, it's just like I wonder like why are the vocals so loud? And it usually just comes whenever I actually dig into this and get chatting with people on the Discord or whatever, or on Instagram. It's usually that people's headphones or their earbuds are just so like they make the vocals sound so quiet and scooped that in the mix, does this make sense? Like if your earbuds make the vocals sound quiet, in your mix, you're going to push the vocals really loud. So they sound right on your earbuds, but then you go listen somewhere else and it's like, whoa, those vocals are way too loud. Yeah, let's see this. Let's do a little bit more towards the end, maybe. I'll keep these turned on though, because these were really helpful. Yeah, the vocals are, yeah. I would say actually 2 things about the vocals. I would take a little bit of low mids out of them. So maybe around, probably around 200 hertz. I'd take a little bit out of the vocals and then I would also compress them. Because right now what's happening is as you're transitioning between notes, I'm just hearing this tonal resonance that's just like sweeping out and just getting me right in the ears. And I think it could be these headphones, but I'm not used to that where it just that fluctuation. It might also just be that you are fluctuating louder and quieter. I would say if you clip that, I mean, you could actually clip it with a clipper or a compressor. You could be quite aggressive with it because compressors are so good these days that you can have them set so that just at a moment, it takes like 8 or 10 dB off, maybe blend it in, like something like a distressor. You can have that punch down to like minus 15 dB momentary, and it doesn't actually sound like a massive pumping huge amount of compression, which is crazy because, you know, if you were if you do say 15 dB with an 1176 on a slow attack, you're gonna hear that for a few seconds as it recovers. But some of these digital compressors, you can have them snap down and back up, and it just kind of protects the listeners a bit. Eddie had some fantastic feedback. He says if it sounds nice on earbuds, it probably sounds atrocious everywhere else. That needs to be like put on and I need to put that on a t-shirt or something. Yeah. And then someone, Frozen's giving a good distressor emulation. There are so many good distressor emulations as well. I just think it's such a good, the Empirical Labs distressor is so good. Let me see this. In case anybody is missing the point here, this is the distressor that we're all talking about. Please ignore all of these. Oh, it looks like it's about almost $2,000, but this is the distressor. So you will have seen so many plugins that have like a version of this. And so many of them are really, really good. It's not something I'll be making a plugin of because it's been really, really done to death at this point. But yeah, I used to use the one from Slate just because I happened to have their, I had their all access pass. I was paying for it, so I thought I might as well use it. But actually, I tried a bunch of others, and I was like, these are all really, really good. Okay, nice track. We'll jump on to the next one. I hope that feels like you've got enough. I tried my best to listen without commenting too soon. All right, if this is easy to listen to, I'll add a couple of tracks while we listen. We're getting some interesting tracks. I love this. I want to add some reverb or something to the whole thing. Let's just do something stupid. I just think like, what do we have? Something really small. I'm not sure. Let's go for a plate. Tiny mix. I really, really like this. Who knows? I've never put Valhalla Supermassive on a master before, but actually I like that, which was really, really silly. Supermassive's probably not the best plugin for this, although it seems like you can automate this plugin really well without any crunch, which is nice. I just don't have any other Valhalla stuff installed on this machine. Valhalla make great plugins. Let's see what anyone thought of that. Yeah, people think this isn't so bad, because I was thinking the snare sounded like a little bit dry. But honestly, like this one here, what was this? Cirrus minor plate. So reverbs, small, Cirrus minor plate. I opened up the highs a bit, right? That's what I must have done to get more to get more of that sparkle. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's a cutoff. Good. That's doing what I thought. And then it was at 60, I think, to start off with. I just pushed that up so that we weren't getting much bass reverb. I imagine these cutoffs are like very gentle slopes. And then I just kept it like, I don't know, 10%. Maybe that's a bit silly, but you could do that on your drum bus or something. I'll push it too far and we'll all hear it, right? So that's too much. doing unorthodox stuff here. I tell you what, though, if you were a client of mine, I wouldn't put this on the master. I would go back to the mix and maybe add some of this in, but like, so good. The bit that really grabbed me was when I heard these vocals, I think here. At that point, I was like, oh, we're going somewhere. Now, I did notice on the analyzer that there seemed to be some stray lows here, but that's not always actually a problem. Sometimes it kind of displays it here, but it's just kind of like a rounding error, and it's not really that much low end there. See this here? Like there's something going on here. Do you see what I mean? I'm just not sure what it is. So that could just be a thing to check. Now, I don't recommend doing this, but it might be that on your bass channel or a synthesizer you have, there's something misbehaving, and you could just like do a gentle, just so that you don't get any, because see when you hear something like this, I don't really know if that's there. It's probably not going to affect anyone, but if it were to ever be played over a big system, there might be some weird rumbling or something. Really nice though. I love it. This is amazing. I could listen to this all day. We're done. That's the stream over. We're just gonna... What was that transition I did the first time around? I think it was just here. Terrible. I did it best the first time. Go back 10 minutes ago. You're going to have people wanting to remix this with you or something, but 1 minute of this, that's criminally short for something that's so good. I'm going to try to answer your questions here because you very politely put a bunch of questions in here. All stock and free plugins, beautiful. Valhalla's free. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. I think they released it like over COVID, so that like sort of era, I think. And they were like, yeah, the world needs a free plugin right now. Right. What I'd say for now, don't overcrowd and clutter this section because like this, like it doesn't need like another lead or another something. It just needs, we just need to figure out where to go from here. How you perceive saturation. I really like the saturation. I felt a lot of it felt very wide as well. It wasn't too harsh, but I felt like going for the reverb was a smoother way, was a better way to smooth things out than to just grab the EQ. I didn't want to like just do that to kind of smooth it out. Didn't feel right. Storytelling was excellent. By the time this arrived, it wasn't out of place, but it was very, very satisfying. This is what I mean when I ask people to like build up something that's a bit plucky, maybe arpeggiated, maybe guitars, that's like outlining the theme. Yeah, there was just no part of this where I was bored. I don't know about anyone else. Just wasn't bored at all. Really, really good. I don't know what that means. Hold up, let me, maybe I am showing my ignorance here, but I don't know what that is. Ah, that's a great word. It's got to be German. So that word, Gestaltserfall? I don't know. It's a psychological phenomenon where a complex shape or word appears to break down into its individual components after being stared at for a prolonged period. That happens to me sometimes when I'm making a thumbnail and I have, you know, EQ secrets on the title, and then secrets, just you look at it too long and it doesn't even look like a real word anymore. No, this is great. To work around that, I mean, breaks are always good. I know that sounds so cliche, but if you can get other music stuck in your head, go take a day off, and a day off your music, listen to a bunch of other stuff, get someone else's song stuck in your head, find something really groovy, and then go back to yours and try to hear it again for the first time, if that makes sense. Let's see. Balance. I think the balance is fine. Let's take another listen. I think there's plenty of high end. I mean, I wouldn't go EQing more high end. I would say if you want a bit more high end, I'd say like bring up the hi-hats, just bring them up by a dB, bring up the synths up there by just a dB or two. Let's see this. Let me see this. Everyone talking about a car test. No car test for me. My car windshield broke. The car's been leaking. It had loads and loads of water in it. I came back to the car in the morning and was just like, oh no. I've been clearing big puddles out of the bottom of my car. It's not been great. Yeah, what genre would you call this? Well, the chat is having a great time without me, so I have this set to top chat instead of live messages. Perfect. Okay. This is awesome. What I'm going to do is let this track play while we find some other tracks. So I'm going to look for a few Verified Boombox users and also see people in the chat here. Some of the verified users, they have a little star next to them. So I'm just going to add a few of those. And you're in the chat as well. All right. So I will prioritize feedback for them, but ideally if they are here, because if people are not here, I'd rather play music from those who are here. Oh, I'm seeing so many names I recognize as well. It's really, really cool to see people coming back time after time. We'll get through a few of these first, and then we'll look for more tracks. Oh, Zoltana is here. Great. So what I'd say is, remember, because we're getting to just past the hour point, if you've been listening from the very start of the stream, make sure you give your ears a little bit of a break. Turn the volume down on your interface. I know we're keen to give everybody as much feedback as you can, and a lot of people are great with that, but don't put yourself out. So if you've been listening from the very start, turn it down for a few minutes and then turn it back up again. Look after your hearing, all right? Because you can't get it back if you damage it. 5 minutes for Prism, and I wish you added some notes here. If you're in the YouTube chat, let us... Oh, there you are. Hey. Let us know in the YouTube chat what you're looking for feedback on. What is this track? Is this finished? Is it... what's it about? That kind of thing, yeah? so excited to hear what this chorus sounds like. So, first bit of feedback would be that the kick and snare are both very loud, but I'm not sure they're as full as they need to be. So I'm going to try to make that make sense, right? The kick has a lot of like, let me try and get the right tone. It's got like a lot of this body here. I'm going to try to... It's got a lot of this here. I don't know what you'd call that, like that's kind of a throatiness. What I think you could benefit from is having a longer kick sample, so something that wasn't so punchy, that was also a little bit quieter. I think that would work in a slow track because the track is really slow. It's almost peaceful, but it's kind of got this edge to it. And I think if you had a longer kick sample, it would just feel more at home. The same for the snare. The snare is also very loud, but it's also a very quick little sample. Okay, the snare's not actually that loud. It's just got this hollowness to it, so it's attracting a lot of attention. What do we think? Someone, and Donato is saying the kick could actually be shorter. I think you've got to go shorter or longer with the kick. It has to be like bigger and more epic, or it has to be like really punchy and it's kind of sidechain in the track. Yeah, the snare feels like very rapid. Like it doesn't feel... I feel like the snare is maybe just the wrong sample, but I like everything else. I like the way the synths are swirling around. I love the use of space. And I really like the atmospheres and everything here. So let's go to here. All of the leads, not all of them, most of the leads keep sounding, again, quite static to me. And I think some of the feedback we were giving earlier in the stream, we were talking about just modulating them a little bit because they sound very static. Like each note just sounds the same, but at a different pitch. And I think some of maybe the lower notes could have a different kind of release. Some notes could filter differently. You can push and pull a lot of the modulation on these synthesizers so that different velocities and different notes on the keyboard kind of react a little bit different. Some of them dig into saturation a little bit more. You know, the chat is just full of good feedback, actually. So there's something that I keep hearing, and I don't just think it's my ears, but something sounds like there's too much of a phaser or a flanger or even a chorus on it. There's something that's adding some extra white noise or extra noise somewhere, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It's just always kind of going kind of just like the whole time, kind of... It's not this tonal element here, it's something else in the high end, and I can't quite put my finger on it. But yeah. Rosen is saying the mix could be a little bit wider. It might be... Let me just check that this stream actually is in stereo. I might have... I think what was happening was that at the start, things felt peaceful. I felt like I had a lot of space, and then as it went on, I felt like I was looking for some of that space again. Okay. Maybe a phaser on the pad. Yeah, I'd like to hear that without the phaser on the super saw. If you're in the Discord, send that over without that on it, because I think that's like part of the root of my issues with this one. But honestly though, like especially the atmosphere you created at the start, I was really like, I don't really have any notes for this. I thought that this faller sounded very mechanical and machine-like, maybe a little bit too electric. But then, you know, you bring in super saws, so it makes sense. But from there, things were getting a little bit cloudy. But honestly, it's fine. We're splitting hairs, so good work. Let's see this one. This one sounds like it's going to be fun.
Look at me. Never rat on your friends, and always keep your mouth shut.
This is going to get funky. It's groovy. Solo. Needs more cowbell, yeah? I'd love to hear some like some really nice guitar playing on it, you know, something that like AI couldn't do, because this sounds groovy and funky, but at the moment, unfortunately, these kinds of bass lines, because they're so common, this kind of thing is the sort of thing that can be generated quite easily, and if it just had a little more of that human touch, I feel it would be a little more captivating, but you'd still be able to groove and bob along with it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Eddie agrees that this has what it needs. Yeah, Artin also thinks it needs some funky guitar. Like, you need to give it some guitar that just the AI just couldn't do, something that like is just undeniably funky. Do you mind if I skip ahead a bit? I just want to hear where it goes. Let me just... These whispers, it might sound creepy. You could pan them out to the sides, and if you do it and it's awful, just like cut it out, but I think that would sound really, really good.
Beautiful.
Really good. Yeah, you keep the groove going. I mean, it depends what you're going to do. Obviously, if you were going to make like a club, like you said, if you were going to make like a club mix of this, you'd just keep the energy high most of the time. Occasionally, you'd filter it down, put it back up. So I'm not worried about the arrangement, because like you say, it's a work in progress, and this is what work in progress is about. Unless you have the perfect vision for the arrangement, work in progress is about try a chunk here, see what this looks like. What does this look like? You know what I'm saying? Like you try a bunch of stuff, and once you're done, you sort of consolidate it. This sounds different. This sounds very different to this, and it sounds very different. It's about trying all these different elements. When I see a work in progress where it's 3 minutes of that repeated for 3 minutes, that's not useful to you, me, or anybody, okay? This is really, really cool. Final is asking for a flute. Oh, yeah. Who knows? Just an absolutely like unrequested flute solo. That'd be funny. Yeah. Nice. The chat is so funny, always in these streams, it's so funny. But yeah, some funky guitar. I mean, I know that's like such a boring thing for my brain to think of first, like, oh, this needs, you know, some muted electric guitar, like a really cool little, like, or just like a really cool laid back solo. But like, I think I want that for a reason, and it's because I think it's the right choice. Yeah, or even just a bunch of freestyling. Just throw some trumpets on there, just like anything, just, you know. But no, I mean, the important thing for work in progress as well, like you say, is that like you've got the groove, you know what you want it to do. Now it's just a case of like really finding that extra little bit of sauce or sparkle, because I love the like stutter, the LFO, and the stutter on that synth. It's is it synth? No, it could actually just be a guitar actually, but it's being stuttered. I love it so much. Love it so much. Really, really good. That was one of the most enjoyable ones of the stream, and we've had some really good tracks. So yeah. Okay, you were in the chat earlier at least. Maybe you're not still here. Oh no, you're here, I see you. Awesome. This is going to be loud, so I'm going to turn this down a touch. And I'm just going to make sure I don't have any effects on at the moment. Nope, Valhalla's off, bandwidth's off, Reviver's off. Cool. Just Pro Q3. Just got this stem mixed and mastered, but something doesn't sound right. That is 99% of the clients I get are saying the same thing. They're like, I just paid to have this mastered and mixed, but it's not right. Can you help me? Every day. Are you able to take a listen and let me know your thoughts? Of course. So let's just take a good listen. We'll listen for a bit without talking, and we'll see where we get to.
In the silence, everybody hurts the same. From the background, how you gonna force a change? They try to keep you in line. Never seems the right time to stand up with the truth. Ooh. You gotta speak up. Start believing nothing's gonna hold you down. Feel your fire breaking out. Oh, they need the truth. So give them a piece of you.
Beautiful post-chorus here as well. Wow. Nice. I've got some notes, but nothing bad, I don't think. I want to listen again to the vocal loudness here, because it sounded like the vocals were about the right loudness here, like a bit buried, about the right loudness here. But in these bits, like a little bit more prominent. So I'm not sure if it's too loud, but the vocals sounded louder here than they did here. So let me just check.
Start believing nothing's gonna hold you down. Feel your fire breaking out.
I'm gonna skip ahead. It sounds really good. I reckon the only thing it's suffering from is that it might be getting pushed like 2 dB too loud in mastering, and like, so this bit's getting a little bit too crushed. But I want to say though, I really, really like, I do think the vocals were a little more prominent here, but like that might be what you want. You might be wanting the vocals to sound like they're getting buried. I love this sort of like this punchy turnaround on the bass and also the chords. Where is it? Maybe it was a little bit earlier even, but yeah, I thought it was really nice. Let me see. So what I'm going to do is turn the volume down for all of you. This is where we sort of check the loudness. Overall, I was looking, you probably saw me look at tonal balance control. You could say, compared to some pop and EDM songs, that this was a little bit bright, around maybe like 8 or 9K, and a little bit bassy. But honestly, this is just a guide. It was, I used this just to check that my ears weren't like super fatigued. You could see if I'll just turn this down for a sec. It's about right, you know. So tonally we're fine. Like there's not like there's way too much bass or way too much treble, but it's a good check, especially like now when your ears are getting a bit tired. When I'm mastering, I don't master for more than like half an hour, 45 minutes. I don't ever listen to the music for more than 10 minutes continuously anyway. I'm always pausing. Right, I said I was going to turn... no, I don't need bandwidth. I need loudness meter. There we go. So I'm going to turn that on. Now, this will be very quiet for you because I need to turn the volume down and turn it all the way up here, right? This will actually give me the loudness of the song. Maybe Boombox could build this into it, but yeah, let me... So, wait, I just need to grab that, pause it, sorry. So earlier, I know it went to like -3 point something. This is okay that things are loud in this genre. That's really fine. But I would say on a track where the bass and vocals are this important, like you've got a lot of sub here, I would say, you know, for me, I would push this up to, at max, about -6 to -5 LUFS short term. Because I just feel once you push past that, even in this genre, I feel like you're sort of sacrificing. Like, I mean, some people would say -5 or -6 short term is also absolutely insane. But, sorry, I thought did my camera turn off for a second? Hold up. No, it didn't, but... I don't trust it. 1 second. I'll play the track for a moment, right, while I figure out something with my camera that is giving me a wee warning. Right, so now I'm going to turn this back up for everybody, because I know that was very quiet for a moment there. So, yeah, this, you don't need to worry too much about all the numbers. The peaking might just be because I'm playing it back, like live from Boombox, so sometimes this can be a little bit misleading. But yeah, short term, I would say ask your engineer to only push the short term up to say -5 or -6, and I just think this section is going to sound so loud, and it's going to start sounding loud or just as loud as all of this bit. You know, I mean, I don't know if I don't think I've ever pushed anything up to -3. I know engineers that do, that will do that, and you got to do what's right for the song, but there's very, very few songs where -3 would be right for the song. I mean, some people would say, no, we're not going louder than -10 or -12. I believe in meeting in the middle somewhere. I think loudness and clipping and density, like I think these things can improve some mixes, but in this case, yeah, I know I sound like a broken record. I'd say it's just too much limiting, and I'm actually surprised it sounds so good given that it is that loud. Yeah, let's see. It did sound a little bit easier when it was quieter, oddly. But yeah, I mean, you know what, if you could just ask them to like ease off on the limiter and the clipping a little, even just 1 dB less clipping, 1 dB less limiting, 1 dB less mix bus compression, all three of those together, you're going to let 3 dB more through. You're going to get 3 dB more punch. You know, everything's just going to have a bit more transience to it. It's going to sound awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm just reading the chat. And definitely, folks, don't mix to numbers unless you really want to. You can do whatever you want. Don't mix by numbers. But that was a bit of a diagnostic. We were all thinking, this does sound too compressed, and then we visually confirmed that, that was what we were hearing. You know what though? I'm going to listen to a little bit more. Make sure the volume's right though.
Start believing nothing's gonna hold you down. Feel your fire breaking out. Oh, they need the truth. So give them a piece of you. Clear the air with every word. You got a voice. Say, have you heard? Silence is tough. Gotta speak up. Gotta speak up. You gotta speak up. You gotta speak up. You gotta speak up. You gotta speak up.
I mean, it's great. I just think for me, the drop doesn't hit as hard, even though you're trying to filter this down. This is all so loud as well that the drop's not hitting. And I think that's the problem there, because melodically, like lyrics, the tone, everything's fine. I think everybody agrees everything's in the ballpark of where it should be. Sub sounds great. People are saying it sounds really professional. People love the track. So yeah. Oh, and yeah, sorry to clear stuff up as well. I know some, once upon a time, maybe 5-6 years ago, the platforms were trying to recommend like what loudness we all mastered at. Some of us tried to hold the line and stick to these regulations, but almost no one in the professional world sticks to professional audio regulations, unless maybe theaters and movies and shows do, but no, I don't actually know a single engineer, unfortunately, that sticks to professional regulations. And it kind of makes sense, because like why should any of these bodies or Spotify or anyone else tell us how to master our music, but everyone's just going really, really loud. So you don't need to go by numbers. I would say you've got to do what's right for the song, and this song could be a bit quieter and it would sound even better. But honestly, I've got no notes on like the arrangement or the mix or anything like that. So really, really good stuff. This is a difficult song to follow by Sultana, On the Coast. It's a demo, right? Hey chat and Michael. So we'll read this, right? Is this large enough on the screen? I can make it a bit bigger, but we'll read this while we listen to the song. How about that, right? Let me go and it's a little bit bigger. Does that work? That's probably easier for everyone to read. It's a tough song to follow, so, you know. I'm hearing that. Add more variation to the lead. Yeah, we've never had a stream with more unique songs on it. This is just... I think it's a little quiet, maybe? Is it alright for everyone? I love this percussion that's being added. Come back to this in a second, right? I think for a start, so much positives, right? The whole thing is just absolutely filthy. It's disgusting. It's really, really good. Like it's incredible. But I think the side chaining feels like it's too much and very short. Like every time the kick hits, it feels like everything folds a little bit too much. I need to listen again. My ears are getting a little fatigued, but I feel like the sidechain is making the volume of everything drop too much, and you could probably say halve the amount that it is sidechaining. Does that make sense? It just goes boom, 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 like just everything's just like, oh, it makes me almost want to dip my head. Maybe that's the point, actually. The melody, I feel like we could have a little bit more variation, but it might be because I'm so spoiled with this stream. We've had so much melodic content. Let's see this. Cellar Ridge, good question. I'm using a tool called Sound Source. So if I just go to this for a second. This is Sound Source. I'm not sponsored. It's a paid app from Rogue Amoeba. I use it on Mac to add plugins to my output. It's so useful when mastering or mixing because I can run plugins globally. Say you want to run SonarWorks, or you could run VSX, or you could just have an EQ on your output all the time, or a loudness meter all the time, no matter what DAW you're in, whether you're listening on Spotify, anything, it's always there. So you can really isolate bits from people's tracks. It's really, really fun. Eddie said, yeah, the sidechain just snaps everything else into oblivion for a few milliseconds, and I'm still not sure if I have a problem with it. Like, it doesn't sound proper, but it's so cool, so I don't really know. And I said I'd come back to this, so let's take another wee listen. Igor, I'm going to add you to the stream. I remember I said I would. Igor, can you let me know what your track is? What's the artist's name? This is outrageous. Sounds like you've remixed that guy from Dune. I love it. Absolutely love it. Incredible. We're going to listen to Etan's in just a moment. That was absolutely insane. I really, really loved that. Honestly, I gave you some notes about the side chaining. I'd love to hear it with less extreme side chaining, but it might not work. You know, sometimes things are very sensitive. I'm trying to figure out, right? Igor is in the chat. I accidentally skipped over them last time. I didn't play their track when we meant to, so I've added theirs to the chat. Just trying to figure out if I've skipped over someone here. Sometimes I add people to the queue and I can skip without realizing, but I'm just going to check. Let me see. Because it might just be, I'm trying to, I try to be really fair with this stuff, and the chat goes very quick for me to like keep up with. So let me figure this out. I think their name is Ak Shell in the chat. Did I add you to the queue and I've cancelled you off? Let me know. We're going to listen to Etan in the meantime. This looks loud. Holy moly. Yeah, let's figure this out. What is up with this stream? We're getting the most ridiculous stuff. Have this played with like the violin and that was a lot. Okay, that is in That's an out of place sample, but to have this being played with like the violins is so cool. Saul. Okay, if Saul is saying the lead is too screamy, then take note, because Saul is not afraid of some abrasive sounds from time to time. Saul, I hope you take that well. Yeah, we've also got another sort of Middle Eastern inspired track, which is just crazy. Okay, I like this bit. I'd love a bass slide here. So the bass is just playing these really, really groove, and I just like it at the end to go back to that. That would be glorious if you could get that bass guitar to just not loud, just quietly, just slide back to that first note would be just incredible. Let's listen to it here. This is crazy because, like, depending on which part of the track you solo, you feel like you're listening to a different track. It's ridiculous. Right, I like the sort of violin lead, kind of the strings lead sounds about the right level here, whereas I think earlier it sounded these violins or sounded a bit loud. Yeah, they got a little loud just before that. That shaker, like this kind of, the shaker's everything there. Because you could imagine, like, some songs you're like, oh, I couldn't play along with this, but this song you could just be like, right, give me a shaker or give me, give me something, and I could like jam along with them, you know what I mean? Sorry, we just got comment of the stream, okay? There's probably been some good ones I've missed, but Anon just said, I have a track that can make everyone else's track look even better. That's such a good comment. That's like, I love it so much. That's it sounds like you're British, but I'm not sure. Okay, it's funny. Sorry, I didn't even read your note. It's funny that I picked up on the percussion because you said the perks, or probably most of them, are recorded live. Some of them using my 4-year-old daughter's toys. That makes sense that you'd have like the wood block, the shakers. That's funny that like my ear picked up on that, and I was like, this is brilliant. This shaker. I thought you had some sort of shaker loop, but no, we're not. That's not splice. That's just you. That's amazing. Yeah, it's really like people in the chat are saying the same thing. It's like really, really satisfying. Like it literally sounds like someone's on the outside of my headphone and they're just like giving a little like scratch or something. Like it's that percussive. It's really, really lovely. You are British, yeah. Only a Brit could say something so self-deprecating in the chat. Etan, I really, really liked it. Like, I mean, in terms of feedback to make the song better, I would make sure that like nothing sticks out too much, but if there is something that you want to grab the listener's attention, just nudge that up a little bit, like a dB in that section. Because right now I would say the key is not having anything that really throws people out. I did think these 2 bits sounded a bit like loud. That was fine, I guess. It just sounded like it didn't really ease me into this next section. It sounded a little bit out of place, maybe. Yes, Adit, I'm just using the YouTube chat mostly on this stream. I need to figure out like streaming to Twitch and Instagram and all these things at the same time. Fabio at Noise did give me some good tips for doing that. He says it's great if you can stream to like other places so everyone can watch in different places, but YouTube was what I'm good at for now. Good question, Adit. Sorry, they're just asking why would someone use something like Boombox instead of distro? Well, I mean, for me, I need to move my distribution off distro, but DistroKid for me is just for distributing music, whereas Boombox does so much more. Like, you've got the distribution, and you can also, I mean, I don't want to sort of like talk down about any other companies, but when I started with DistroKid and I used to recommend them, you could get human support really easily. You just emailed them and you got your problems resolved. But now it's really difficult. It's all AI and it's all bots. So at least with Boombox, you can get some human support if you need it. But Boombox does all the distribution, but an absolute ton more. So if you want to check it out, you can see the link in the description. I won't, I know that any of you can sort of go to the main page of Boombox and read everything they offer. It is a huge amount of stuff. They're trying to be an all-in-one platform for musicians and producers. So there's just a lot more that it does. Distribution is an important part of it, but it's really just one small sort of segment of what you get. Yeah, Etan, this was really, really good. And I'd say you're doing the right thing by recording stuff live, because I gravitated towards that and I noticed it without actually knowing. Let's listen to this one here. So this is Igor, or is it Ihor? Igor. Yeah. I skipped over your track last time by mistake, so here we go. We try to keep it fair here, right? That's perfect. So good. I'm going to choose this moment to sort of fade it down. Oh, that was a bad moment to fade it down. Really good stuff. It's very loud, it's very compressed, but you know, I think that kind of works in this case. It sort of sounds like you're in a big sort of like warehouse, or, you know, a big sort of like hall, and you're just getting slammed with noise. So that works really, really well. I like that you're triggering some extra drum samples. This is a really, really important step for a lot of people that are maybe new to this density in the drums. When you listen, it is a sampled drum kit, but they're also using vintage drum samples, probably triggering on the kick, maybe the snare, I'm not sure what else. And it means that you get this feeling of a acoustic kit, like a classic drum kit, but oh, hello, Solo. but you're also supported by other drum sounds. So let's take a listen just to that. In fact, you know what? I'll split it so we can hear it as well. I'll split it into the stems, and we'll take a listen to it while it's splitting. The piano there underneath, oh, it's so good. And I keep saying, like, other people are saying the same. Em is saying the same thing in the chat. This is like the favorite of the day. There's so many. I mean, have we had a stream with more variety in tracks, especially lots of instrumental tracks, surprisingly? Just incredible. So it was the drums I wanted to get. So much subby kick there. I know this isn't perfect. Wow. What I was noticing in the track when we were listening was I had such a consistency in the low end of the kick. With such consistency and like the performance of the drums still felt like there was groove and rhythm in there. Let me get this right. It still had all that hallmark of like an acoustic kit being played, but there was no soft hits, no, you weren't lacking any frequencies there. Oh, brilliant. Okay, that's really cool. We're going to go listen to that bit before we skip ahead. And the bass real quick. Beautiful. I sometimes use this, the stem splitter, although you can use this for any, you could use this for any purpose. I sometimes use this to help find where problems are in masters. So if someone sends me a mix and I'm not sure, like, wait a minute, is that like a resonant frequency like just on the snare, or is it actually from a synth that's underneath and then it's, poking through or whatever? It can be useful if I don't have the stems. But I want to listen to this bit here, because that is some really good drum programming. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to stop in a minute. I'm in quite a bit of pain here. I'm not feeling too well. I'm enjoying this so much, but I'm gonna have to end it on the next track. We'll play Em's track and then that's gonna be me done for the day. I think we did 2 hours, which is what we normally do. Yeah, this is bad. Give me a minute, I really want to hear this. Sorry. I love these drums. That was loud enough for everyone else. The drums in this section here, this is exactly what you have to do when you're using drum samples, because I don't like getting fooled by stuff, but if you told me like, your life depends on it, are those sample drums are recorded, did a drummer play those, or are those from a sample library or whatever, I'd be like, I think a drummer played those. And it's MIDI triggered, so for it to sound that good, it sounds like it's being performed to me, and that's what you've got to do if you're using samples to make it, what's up with this? to make it feel real. I'm leaning on my keyboard, that's all. Right, one more track. I'm mentally enjoying this so much. I'm struggling a bit. I've had some issues with the sinuses and things, and it's quite bad for like headaches and stuff, but I'm really gonna be okay. Just the groove in these tracks is ridiculous. Wow. So the synth under this bit got a little congested, but it's also cool. I love this so much. You know, this is what I love about when people like give a lot of feedback and critique and criticism and helpful advice to other people in the chat, but they actually know what they're doing at the same time, which is amazing because M is always, or M1841, always in these streams giving so much, like, not just like, oh, it sounds good, sounds bad, like they're giving loads of actionable advice. And then also, this is how good their music sounds. Like, this is real. I'm so glad we got a good track to end the stream on. I don't want to be mean, but like sometimes I have my fingers crossed that the last track's going to be a total banger. And sometimes we have to like go fishing for one. But this is perfect. Like, this section, I think. Download that. For me, this was a bit where at the moment it's a lot for me to keep up with the synths, but amazing. Extraordinary. Really, really, really good stuff. Yeah, just to finish the stream, I guess, in the middle we had this section that was just for Boombox verified users. So if you want to definitely, you know, if you think I've skipped you or I haven't given you feedback this time, I think we probably got around 15-20 tracks. If you want almost guaranteed feedback, sign up for Boombox using the link in the description. That way you'll be played in the middle of the stream if you want guaranteed feedback. But generally, if you're engaging in chat and you're giving people feedback, I try to add you to the queue. There's a few people in here though that that I want to add to the next queue. So I'm gonna go looking back through here because I think there's some people I don't think I added a track from Stav, and I really wanted to. I noticed a few like Frozen. We added Halal. I wanted to add one from, where are you? I know I missed you, Kidder. But yeah, I'll try to add some of those in the next stream. The next stream's going to be 2 weeks time. And I'm really, really excited for it. Hopefully I'm feeling a bit better. I tried to be in good form today, though. Yeah, this is really, really fun. I also wanted to say, I guess, a little update for anyone that's still here. Let me just open up this stream, make sure everything's fine. Yeah, there's not too many people here. I was going to say, I know I've been talking about this plugin that I'm going to release. It's finished, but I've decided on taking some sage advice that I'm basically just going to avoid Black Friday, because I don't usually do anything really much for Black Friday. I don't want to get my plugin happens to be ready to release, but I don't really want to release it in Black Friday week. So I'm going to wait a little bit and publish it after Black Friday. There's still going to be an amazing like launch promo and everything and discount that I offer, but I just don't want to get swept up with all that Black Friday stuff where it's all just about trying to grab everyone's attention, and it just feels really, really salesy. So yeah, anyway. Oh, I wish I could tell you what the plugin does. It's the best thing I've ever made, and it's one of the best plugins I've ever used. I've taken the time. I've taken more than a year to build it. It's something that's going to be really special. And it's all independent as well. Anyway, I've really, really enjoyed this. Thank you for putting up with me, everybody. If you want to, chat more, get more feedback, just join the Discord server. I think it's all linked in the description, or it's linked on my YouTube and my website. You can't miss it. And I'd love to sort of carry on chatting over there. Always enjoy it. So anyway, thank you so much. What a great song to end on. I'll sort of like fade the stream out now. I usually just sort of play this and I'll end this. See ya.